Hello. Welcome to whatever I'm calling this. T is for TMI, diaries, my diaries, whatever. I'm reading my diaries when I was 13 in 1989. It is 4:04 a.m. on December 26th, 2002. I haven't been to bed yet. It's still technically Christmas. I had a great day. It was fun. I'm tired, but I want to make this video. So we're going to do that. I've been thinking about recording this video for like at least the last hour, but decided I should watch the last one or record this one. I need to actually go back and watch all of them, and I haven't done it yet. It's not going to happen tonight, maybe before my next video, because I'm still figuring things out, formatting and stuff like that. Still one entry per episode. I've decided I like the breaking in the reading and telling the story and then getting back to it rather than waiting to the end, because I just go back and reread anyways. That's not very satisfying. That's not great content. Of course, my audio quality probably still sucks. It's cold. I know it's Florida, but it's still cold. It is 32 degrees outside. It's freezing in Florida. How about that? So don't tell me climate change isn't a thing, because it's cold. I mean, it gets cold in Florida. It's always gotten cold in Florida. My whole life, it's happened. It snowed when I was a kid once. It snowed on Christmas here in 1989. I don't know if that's mentioned in here. I can't remember. It might be, actually. Anyway, moving right along. This is number 12. The date is Saturday, March 4th, 1989, 2:52 p.m. So it's 2 days after the last entry. Me and Shauna are friends again. Lori's still my bestest friend, though, and Christy is her bestest friend, so it works out okay. Didn't I just say back and forth, volatile? I do not remember who Christy is. I think I've said that before. I think Christy was mentioned before. I don't know who Christy is. This bothers me. The only Christy I can think of is a Christy that was in Rich Hill. I don't even know where my earbuds are right now to go look. I know they're in a box in a room that is not this room. Used to be in a box that was in this room. All of those boxes used to come to, like, I wouldn't be able to sit here. Like, this chair was piled up with boxes. This table was dismantled over here. Boxes and boxes. Like, half of this room was boxes. But I wanted to. Anyways, we're not talking about that right now. We're talking about my diary. I need to find the yearbook so I can find out who Christy is. Although she might have been. I mean, why would we get a lot of new students? Was I the first new student in history? It moves to Ridgeville. I mean, Garden City. It's to Garden City or Creighton or Urick or Garden City, Creighton, Urick. It's another, it's on the tip of my tongue. I think it was the smallest of all of them. Doesn't matter. Christy. Christy was her bestest friend, and Lori was mine. Moving on. How long is this paragraph? Okay. Like to. Stephen told me that he loves me again. He wrote me a note apologizing for the way he treated and hurt me. It was the sweetest letter that anyone has ever written me. I love him so. He wants me to go to the next dance with him too. He told me in sixth hour yesterday, but only in so many words, you know. He didn't come right out and ask me, but I know what he meant. This girl only hears what she wants to hear. What probably happened was that I said, hey, have you thought about the dance? Are you going to the dance? Are you going to ask someone? Who are you going to ask? Are you going to ask me? Ridiculous. But only in so many words. That is not the last time I am going to use that phrase. In fact, on TikTok, and one of the I'm way beyond this on TikTok. Like I'm way beyond. I think I've posted up to entry 30, maybe. Yes, I'm having a refreshing ice cold adult beverage that is still refreshing, still very good. Um, but it's no longer ice cold because I've been drinking it for at least 2 hours. This one. It's the only one I'm going to have. I just wanted something tasty, and just so happens I have water, I have Sprite, or I have these. Because mostly I drink, or Gatorade, but I already had my Gatorade today. I drink water all day long, but I also throw one Gatorade in there during the day to make sure that I get electrolytes. Drink probably 3 of these a day. At least it feels like I fill it up often. Really need to change the filter in the picture. So sorry. How long have I been distracted? Not too terribly long. Let's get back to it, shall we? Stephen. So many words. Okay. You know something? I never noticed until yesterday what muscular arms he has. He truly is gorgeous with capital G. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. And what makes it better is that he's mine. He has a slight crush on Gail, though. That's not so bad considering I have a major crush on David, Wally, and Jim. Have I mentioned that I am consensually non-monogamous? And bisexual. Is that not obvious from these diaries from when I was 13 years old? 14. I was 14 at this. No, I wasn't 14 yet. This is before my birthday. Still 13. Yep. Bisexual and non-monogamous. It's all here. David, Wally, and Jim. David is David Hayworth. Wally was Wally S. He sat in front of me in Mr. Kelsey's class because we were in alphabetical order, and Elizabeth sat in Elizabeth T. Sometimes Elizabeth wasn't there. And Wally, or Elizabeth and Wally would switch desks. So I remember Wally sitting right in front of me because he would turn in his seat and we'd joke. Gosh, he had a big nose. It's a thing for me. Jim. I feel like I remember a tall Jim lived in Shauna's neighborhood. It's like a bad boy. Shauna also had a crush on him. I remember a really funny story about Shauna. Um, that involves Jim, but that's not my story to share. Maybe in a later entry. Um, David, Wally, and Jim. He knows too, so it's okay. Consensual non-monogamy. Look it up. He's a little jealous though, I think, but not much because I love him, not them. Do you know about jealousy? Jealousy is rooted in fear, the fear of losing something, of something being taken away from you. There's a difference between jealousy and envy. Jealousy is where you don't want someone, you can't have something and you don't want them to have it either. Envy is where you wish you could have that thing, but you don't necessarily want to take that away from them. They get used interchangeably, but they're not the same thing. Not many people talk about envy. They talk about jealousy, or they get them mixed up. Anyways. Jackie wasn't there yesterday or the day before. That's good. What's this say? My handwriting is so bad sometimes. I wrote her another letter last night. It wasn't as good as the other one, though. It'll probably be the last one, too. I want her out of my life, and I'd like her to be out of Steven's, too, but I can't do anything about that, and I'm not going to either. It would only make things worse for me and Steven, so I'll just let it be. I don't really remember writing another letter to her. I remember writing that first one. The one about the bitch. Oh, I remember in that one of the things I said to her, something my mom used to say all the time. If you feel froggy, leap, bitch. Hot mess, certified hot mess. I did try to look her up, but I tried to look her up on Facebook, but there are too many Jackie Spences. And maybe I should ask Stephen about her. I wonder if he knows, if he even remembers her. I don't know. Just let it be. Consensual non-monogamy. It's all right there. I was 13 years old. Well, that's all. Later. Still signing them. Tonia. Consensual non-monogamy. How long are we at? Oh, we're only at 15 minutes. I mean, talking about my life. I can talk about those things too. Edutainment and stuff. I knew then. I knew then. It's okay. We're fed this line that if you love somebody or you're with someone, that it's only them, until death do us part, one partner forever. You heard me saying I wanted to be with Stephen forever. I still say things like forever. I just understand it's not realistic. My husband and I have been together 16 years. He's my life partner. He's my nesting partner. But I fully acknowledge and recognize nothing is forever. It's just not. That's an unrealistic expectation. And to try to mold your relationships into being something like that, especially if Steve and I had gotten together at 13 years old. Let's just game this out a minute. He and I, if I had not moved away, which obviously I did, if I had not moved away, if I had stayed and we'd stayed together and we dated through high school. It could have been, like a fairy book. We could have been, the couple, high school sweethearts, and gotten married, in rural Missouri and had a farm or whatever. I don't know. And I probably would have been miserable because I'm not a small town girl. I wasn't a small town girl then. There's appeal to it. I like it. I like some things about it, but I would not have been able to stay in Missouri. It's just not, it's not a thing. I know that. But if I had, you know, I have grown and changed and evolved so much since then. And I know he has too. And he's gay. I mean, I'm queer as fuck for sure. And I was then also, you know, how many, I was not the only queer girl there. Like I already mentioned, those girls that I liked, I thought for sure, you know, I thought for sure. I mean, there's no guarantee, but how would that have worked out in rural Missouri? You know, could you not just see us being miserable together and making each other miserable because we weren't being our true selves? It could have happened like that. There are so many stories. People who were high school sweethearts and they grew apart, but they stayed married and miserable for years. Sometimes they finally, you know, split up after decades together and went on and had wonderful, happy lives. Sometimes they stayed together until one of them died. Sometimes they stayed together and it worked. And they were happy, or maybe not happy. There are no real storybooks. That's the thing. Every relationship has strife and problems. And in all relationships, we look at other people. We notice, how can you not? We're surrounded by other people. To think that you cannot be attracted to someone else because you love this person, I mean, I love pork chops. Oh my God, I love pork chops and pork steaks and pork ribs and pulled pork. I love pork. I can eat pork every single day. But I love steak too. I don't want to eat steak every day. I can eat hamburgers more often than that. I like beef. I love seafood. I could probably eat seafood every day. Sushi for sure. But even I get tired of that sometimes. I have found myself saying, "Oh, well, you know what? I just had sushi yesterday. Maybe something different." You know, why would love be any different? Why would our relationships be any different? When you have children, you love them all, right? And you probably love one of them more than the others. It happens when you have pets. You don't love them equally. You cannot love people equally. And love is not finite. It is not like you get this much love. We'll equate it. You have 20 marbles of love. That's all you get ever. So, do you want to give all those marbles to one person forever, forever and forever and forever and ever and ever? And all of those marbles, each of those marbles, doesn't just represent love. It represents, the only person you kiss, the only person you have sex with, the only person you sleep with, the person you have dinner with every night, the person, you have your evening routine with, you know, who's the person you talk about your passions with? Do you have passions outside of that person? This is why we have friends, and there are best friends, the like a lot of us, have a best friend. I hope we all have a person, you know. A lot of people, that person is their spouse, but what happens if your best friend is everything and your spouse, something's not right there? Who do you talk to? You need a best friend to talk to. I mean, and some relationships you can be best friends where you can talk about that. That is a learned skill. It's not natural. We're not conditioned that way. you know we have to be able to talk and communicate and share ourselves. And for me and my husband, I do lots of things without him. He's not my first priority. I love him. I love him. I have loved him almost from the beginning. 3 months in, I knew I loved him, and I love him no less than I did then. I love him more every day. I do a lot of things without him. He doesn't like to go camping. He doesn't like to go to music festivals. He doesn't like to go do a lot of things. I like to live and get out and experience things. So if he doesn't want to do it with me and he's my only partner, does that mean I don't do these other things? Or does it mean I do them alone? I mean, I have friends. What my friend, she has my best friend, she has, her family and job and commitments. And, you know, all of these other people have all of these other things going on. So it's okay to share those things with other people. And people put such a high value on romantic love. Like love has some kind of hierarchy, you know. Do you love them more? Do you love them less? It doesn't really work that way. Love is in all different shapes and sizes and colors and flavors. I can love someone one way and this other person a different way. There's just so many different varieties. I don't know if this is true. I've heard it regurgitated a lot, and I feel like I've researched it before. But they say that the Inuit have so many words for snow because it comes in so many different forms for them. And I don't know if that's true, but the point I'm trying to make is love has more than one meaning, but it's just one word. And sure, there are other words, but none of them carry the weight of love. There's, you add descriptors to love for the different kinds of love there are, but it's all love. And it's not like you get a bucket of this kind of love and a bucket of this kind of love and a bucket of this kind of love. Love is what you make of it. You mold each love that you have in your life. Mold them together, mold them separately, mix them, match them. And I knew that at 13 years old. I didn't have any language about it. And that's how I'm living my life now. It's how I've been living my life for years. And it's possible for anybody to do it. It's not necessarily the right choice for everybody. There's nothing wrong with monogamy, but it can be healthy to have, it can be unhealthy to have the marbles all in one hand. Because if you put all of those marbles in one hand, it gets heavy. And if you're not the only person putting marbles in that hand, it gets heavier and heavier. Marbles get dropped and spilled. So you can distribute, you know? I was going to say burden, but they're not burdens. Distribute the load because it is a load. And that's a good thing about, we're all in multiple relationships. Every single one of us, whether you're married and monogamous or single. Every time you meet someone and interact with them, that's a relationship. And, they just have different strengths and bonds. And, they're like plants. The ones that, you tend to and grow are the ones that grow, and they grow in the ways you tend them. It's supposed to be on my diary, not about lectures on life. Thanks for sticking through all of that. I mean, for me, it's about all of that. But good news is, maybe at some point in the future, I will, edit and we'll have cuts and stuff or timestamps. I've seen they do that on videos. Up to here's where they do this, and I don't know how to do all that yet. Somebody wants to help me? I'm willing to learn. I just haven't set aside the time. I'm a busy person. I have a lot of things going on, in case you can't tell. So I'm going to leave that here for now. It's not where I intended this video to go, but they're unscripted. The only part that's scripted is what was written in 1989 and the words that I read from these pages. Everything else is just as it happens. So thank you for sticking around, for being here, for being interested. I love you all. Please like and subscribe. Drop me a comment. I really, really want this to be interactive. I'm not trying to talk at you. I'm trying to talk with you. I want to invite you in to be a part of this with me. Okay? And for those who watch all the way to the end, here's a little secret. I had a phone call with Stephen the other day, and we're planning a video together for y'all. Maybe it could be one of these. Oh, you know what? I think it would be a great idea to have him. Come on. Let's see. What did I just read? I just read March 4th. And then we have March 12th, March 22nd, April 5th. Part 2. I live part 2. What do you think that means? That's what we're going to do. I'm going to have him on for the April 5th. And only those of you who stick to the very end will know. Everybody else is just going to be surprised, or they're going to miss it. It's going to be so fun. All right. I'll see y'all next time.